Hello, everybody. It's January 1st, 2026, and this is the Backdrop Weekly Dev Meeting. Happy New Year, everybody out there. It's a holiday today, and so we have got a pretty small crowd, just myself and Izzy. Welcome, Izzy. Um, and yeah, we're going to run through the issues for the Backdrop 133 release. Normally, uh, the feature freeze for a minor release is the first of the month before the 15th release day, but January 1st is, of course, always a holiday, and so we extend um, the code freeze deadline until after any holiday. With it landing on a Thursday, we kind of stretched the rule a little bit and extended it through Friday too. So the official feature freeze for Backdrop 133 is January 4th, so the end of Sunday of this coming weekend. So we've got 3 more days to kind of wrap up the loose ends that we've got for the 133 release, and there are a lot of loose ends. So we're going to go through some of those today and kind of see um, which ones we're going to be able to tie up. Um, I'll do a quick intro. My name is Nate Lampton. I'm Quick Sketch on the internet, and I'm core committer and the technical lead for the Backdrop project. And I'm joined here by Izzy. Izzy, can you give yourself a quick intro?
Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm a freelance developer in Vancouver, Canada, and happy to be here and a user of Backdrop.
Thanks, Izzy. All right. Let's see. In the world of Contrib, we also have some new Contrib modules that came in this week. We have the add-on generator module and the devel form debug module. Let's see. It looks like add-on generator is kind of like a code generator to create modules, themes, and layouts. Thank you, Norm Plum, for creating this module. Uh, looks like a new made for backdrop module. That's always cool. And then devel form debug provides a contextual link for all forms that allows you to easily find the form ID and form variables. Uh, Very cool. Created by Martin Price. Uh, awesome. Always fun to have new modules coming in, and they do always come in. It's like a fun present every week.
Can you share your screen as well so others can see the list that you've got there?
Yep, here we go.
Thanks.
So yeah, so we've got add-on generator and devel form debug. All right. So yeah, 133. That's the main topic of today since we've got feature freeze just right around the corner. As Izzy was telling me right before the meeting, we have a lot of RTBC issues. Check this out. So, I mean, it's 17 open RTBC issues, so that's a lot that is on our us core committers to get through and review all of them. Many of them are bug fixes and straightforward, so we try to get through those to pare down this list quite a bit. Some of them we've been talking about uh, quite a bit in these meetings. This custom text format with default values causing all of these empty text areas. We've talked about this one several times during meetings, is now RTBC. Excited to see that one knocked out. And let's see if there's other ones that are straightforward. I don't think so, but let's jump into the exciting things. For 133, this pull request came out of the blue to select all items on all pages in Vue's bulk operations. RGPiano came in on Christmas Eve and just dropped a pull request that did all of it. So that's really great. Um, Thank you so much, RGPiano, for your work here. And it's a port from the contrib module. I've tested it out and I've looked at the code, and my code review seems to, I don't know, I didn't run across anything really serious, but everybody has indicated that it's working. Um, and yeah, I think it's really pretty great. Let's see, what does RGPiano have to say? True. Yes. So my comment here that now that you can select all items on all pages, you could potentially delete like, every node on your entire site. And so if you do that, and you have 10,000 nodes, you'll get a confirmation form that lists all 10,000 node titles and then the delete button, which I was saying makes it pretty clear that you're about to do something really ridiculously drastic. Um, and because there's some concern about this increasing the dangerousness of bulk operations because it will allow um, bulk operations to, affect every node on your site. And so RGPiano is saying, well, maybe um, we should limit it, or maybe we should make some changes. And my thought on that is like, I think we should, but in a separate issue. This issue is marked RTBC, but it looks like there's some failing tests. Okay, these ones, I see them frequently. Um,
Yeah, there've been some repetitive failings that have been going on. I'm not sure if it's a test infrastructure that's giving us troubles.
yeah, there's usually a real underlying cause of these random failures, but um, it sometimes can be caused by um, the use of random variables or race conditions sometimes in the test coverage. So it looks like these might not actually be problems though, because the 7.1 PHP tests all ran successfully, and then we've got differences in the failures on 8.5 and 7.4. So let's just rerun. What's going on here? Cancel workflow. I don't know why it's not letting me run these two individual ones. I'll go in through and run them again. I got upgrade path test. Okay. Well, okay. It doesn't look like these are necessarily related to the pull request, so we'll try to get those run. But yeah, let's go and look at what this bulk operations change does. So this is the sandbox. It's already been modified a little bit to change the listing of content to just have 2 items per page instead of 10, to make it so that when I, select all checkbox, what appears is this option that says select the 2 rows in this page, and then an option to select all 7 rows in this view, which is pretty great. So if you click that, now it's selected all 7 items. And if I go to delete content, you can see it's going to delete all 7 items across all 4 pages and not just the 2 that on the pages that we were looking at. So if I cancel that, I could do something like make content sticky, which is pretty benign. And so you can see it was applied to 7 items. So it's pretty great. I love it. It's super um um it just it fits in, like it's subtle, it's not clear. Like there's no additional complexity on the UI. If you check the select all box, then this option appears. And otherwise it just operates exactly the same as before. So um very nice um UX addition to Backdrop. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. It's been a long time coming into core. It's been there sort of in contrib, but it's nice to see it getting into core now.
Yeah. So looks like there's been some feedback on here, which is great. Um, one thing that I thought of that I haven't uh, posted yet is that this would be a really good candidate probably because it's integrating itself directly into the views module. But the views bulk the contrib module that this came from should probably be added to. my one of my favorite functions, which is merged modules, backdrop merged modules. Um, and so backdrop merged modules lists the modules that have been fully integrated into backdrop core into other parts of core. And so like fast token browser, for example, was integrated into token module itself. And so we've done this many times before, and I think that this is a complete replacement for the contrib module. And so I can't remember the name of this contrib module.
Use bulk operations.
Oh, is it literally just part of VBO?
Yeah, I thought.
Oh, let's see here. Not to be confused with VBO, which has already been ported. Okay, so it probably doesn't replace VBO entirely, I'm guessing. Is
It's a
it
good
regulars and
question.
contrib VBO? Yeah, I would guess that um I would guess that VBO still does other stuff. I was thinking that, oh, hmm.
It's a good question that you raised, so we can kind of look at what's left.
Hmm. I bet that they're still, okay, batching. Okay, that's different. Um, More configurable actions, another API, confirmation step. Yeah, I think that there's still things here that are probably, and RGPiano is the maintainer. I'm guessing that there's still things here. So maybe this is a moot point here. Um, and with RGPiano, the maintainer of bespoke operations, I'm imagining that there's compatibility, but we'll need to confirm that to know for sure. Hello, Olaf. Hello, Martin. We've just been joined by
Hello.
two additional people. Hi. Happy
I
New
Hello.
didn't
Year.
realize we were meeting today, so I just saw the.
Yeah, I was a little late getting it started, and so but yeah, welcome. We're just talking about Via's bulk operations.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and so this seems to be going really well. It's marked RTBC currently. Martin, thank you for leaving some code review on the pull request, and Olaf, thank you for testing it. Do you guys have any additional commentary or things that I should be aware of as we close in on this one?
Um, uh, in a way, yes. I guess you read my comments about that I'm a bit skeptical because, yeah, I consider it as somewhat dangerous. Um, but that's maybe this issue here makes this more visible. The danger, and it's not this issue which it's not the origin of the problem, but I think it is a bit problematic. And I see that after my comments, so many people chimed in and said, well, it's not really a problem, or it's mitigated by, for example, the step where you have to say, yes, I want to delete these items and so on. So I see all these points, but I'm still not. So I think still we should consider to mitigate it a bit more. But that can maybe another issue. So, for example, I considered, or one idea is that in the view where the core bulk operations is configured, maybe we should not enable the delete action by default, because that's the only one which is not. So if you delete an item, it's really away. So and that's so there's the chance of data loss, and I think it's a bit dangerous to have that enabled by default. And we could change that, and I could make an issue for this. Yeah, so far.
Yeah, I think that this option is not per action though. It's either you have it on the view or you don't. For
No, you can. There's an setting, and the setting there are two ways. So let me think. In the configuration of the bulk operation, yeah, it's a second item there. No,
oh, sorry.
further below. Yeah. So you can say available actions,
Mm.
and everything is available by default. And I think delete content should not be available by default.
Oh, I see. So literally just
Because
remove
that's
that
the
capability.
dangerous one. All the others you can yeah, all the others are not sorry.
Yeah, irreversible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Izzy, you wanna
Well,
comment?
isn't that already mitigated or controlled by permissions? So if you're really concerned about the deleting content, you can configure your site to not allow roles to delete content. And then
Yes.
that would, in essence, disable it here. So I'm not
Yeah.
convinced that it
Yeah,
needs.
that's a very good point. So, and that's actually also another issue because an editor usually doesn't have the permission to delete content. Um, but that's sort of a bug that the bulk operation doesn't respect this permission.
I think that
And
was fixed a little while ago,
no,
where the
I've tested
wasn't
it
it fixed
yesterday
where
with
the bulk
on a
where the
demo
bulk
site.
was, because I remember I that I think it was one of the backdrop sites, and I didn't tech if I went into a node, I couldn't actually publish it, but I could through bulk actions. And then
Mhm.
that was fixed. There was a bug in core that was fixed about you had to have permissions in order to do the bulk actions.
Yeah, so I've yesterday tested it on a demo site, on a vanilla site, and the current backdrop version, and I was able, as an editor, to delete content using bulk operation. So that's not fixed.
I think that I'm taking a look now. I think that there was some half measure implemented potentially, and I'm taking a look at it now. But let's not dive into that particular part of things.
Hmm.
We should confine that discussion to our security group. Because if there's
Okay.
permissions bypass, we need to work on that separately. But yeah, my inclination on this issue overall is that it is like the issues that exist, it doesn't introduce new issues. It just makes the things that are already there
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah.
And even if the thing that's making easier is potentially destroying your site by deleting all of your content, it's not making it making something that wasn't possible before possible. It's just making it easier.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I kind of think my inclination here is that we should probably move forward with this as it is and then do follow-ups, like including Archie Piano's um
Yeah.
suggestion here is like, or my implementing my suggestion of like
Mm.
maybe we should limit this somehow. I might even suggest that there should just be some kind of upper limit that might be configurable or hidden or something like that, where it's just like it's limited to like 200 or something like that, where it's like, because there's lots of cases where doing bulk operations across multiple pages is going to be really beneficial, especially if we're only talking about 10 items at a time or 50 items at a time. I'm going to take a look at what the see what have we actually got here. Oh, of course, I'm not going to be able to see it on this sandbox because.
Yeah, I've
But
changed
do you
that.
know what the default is? Is it 50 or is it
50,
okay?
50, yeah. Mm.
Okay. So yeah, but more discussion might be necessary there
Mm.
because even as this is like it's gonna hit an upper limit right now anyway, because if you try to delete 10,000 nodes, you're gonna run out of memory or a PHP timeout. What some there is some kind of limit here. Um, but that doesn't necessarily need to be like, follow
Mhm.
up could be, we could limit it in some way. We could truncate this list so that it just doesn't show every node title. Um, and
Mhm.
if we want to make it more capable, then we could introduce batching to make it so that it really wouldn't have a limit. It would just take longer. So there's things to be done here, but I think that this is a pretty um, reasonable thing for us to add and then iterate on top of.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Um,
are you saying that there is an upper limit to how many are displayed or that are actually acted on? Because if you're just talking about the display, it might be nice if it had a list of however many, 20, 25, and then said, and another 9,700 as well before you get to this action cannot be undone.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I'm not sure, Izzy. I'm kind of suggesting both. That maybe there should be a limit on the ones that are displayed, and there should also potentially be a limit on the ones that are acted on. Um, but
but we also
I'm
shouldn't
not totally sure about that.
make it too complicated
Hmm.
because it's already an extra option. So if you if you now if you check these 50 items on a page, then a small button appears and says, "Do you want to check all items on all pages?" And if then there's another option, but not all, but only 200 or something, that's too
Yeah,
too
yeah,
complicated.
yeah,
So, but I wanted to make one thing clear. So I'm not against this new feature at all. So it's only Argipiano asked at a certain point if it should be enabled by default and if it should also be enabled by default for old sites which didn't have it before. And that's the point where I'm a bit skeptical because it can easily be that a site owner or admin updates to backdrop the next version, and they don't really know that it's now possible to delete all items at once. Because before it was not possible, and now it's possible, and they even know it, they can't warn their editors, for example. So that's the point where I'm a bit skeptical. But apart from that, I'm all for that feature. So
sorry about my coughs. Um, yeah. All right. I think that yeah, we all have um yeah, expressed our kind of
Mhm.
view on it. I think that Yeah, I still want to look a little bit more at the overall pull request because I haven't done my full final review yet. But I'm still probably keen on moving forward with it just so that it happens, and then we follow up with the improvements and potential changes to workflow.
Good.
Let's see. There's other issues that have seen a lot of activity this week. So the layout selecting on multiple paths, lots and lots of updates happen here. Dakwon is still trying quite strong to as of 2 hours ago to get this completed. And looks like there's some issues that are just being worked out. There was a lot of back and forth about restricting to only allow paths that have the same matching context as the primary path. And I think that we're closing in on getting that working as well. Let me see if I can get this sandbox up. Okay. Looks like we're also having the same kind of random failures here. Seem to be having a lot of those as of late. Okay, so structure, layouts. And let's see, let's just make a layout. All right. Oops. I always jump ahead like that. I think there was also some suggestion about, oh, that's interesting. It's adding a slash. I think that was raised in the issue. Oh, interesting. It's copying the parent path. Oh, that's very interesting. Let's try a different. Let's try a different one. So let's say if I made a new path. Oh, interesting. Okay. Dakwon's
It's
getting
adding the context.
yeah, he's getting
Mhm.
fancy here where because the restriction here is that we're specifically saying that if you want to do additional paths, they need to be under the parent path. That's the rule, the validation rule. And so he's trying to help that process by automatically completing and saying, oh, okay, now anything that you want to do additional paths need to be under this parent path. So that's very interesting. Let's try it. What happens if I started with foo? And because now what I could do is okay, interesting. I think this might just be getting a little bit too fancy pants. Because this would also be valid, I think. And maybe it's not. Let's see what happens. Node percent foo. Yep, okay. So at least the validation didn't actually stop it. Because what really matters here is that the contexts are the same. Not that you can only work under the uh, the primary path's children. That's not a real limitation. What the limitation is that the contexts are always the same. So maybe there's some adjustment that might be needed here. I think that there's also some discussion. Yeah, that Herbdol is suggesting that I kind of agree with here. That is, the main path or primary path versus additional paths should somehow be presented differently. which I agree with, because I think that this makes it not totally clear that this first one really is special in some way. That all of the subsequent ones need to match the first one. And so having some way of telling a difference between them, I think, is important. Let's say if I said user here. Yeah, so additional path, user percent baz must match the primary path, node percent foo. Yeah, this is great. This is a great error. But this is exactly kind of what I think needs clarification, is that these are additional paths and this is the primary path, but there's no indication of that in the user interface. There's no label that says these are additional paths and this is the primary path. And that's kind of where I think I'm in agreement with HerbTool here, that this should potentially be separated into path and additional paths, to clarify that there's some difference between the two of them. But I don't know, is that a holdup for this? I'm not sure. I think it's a really good improvement. So I don't want to kill this by 1,000 cuts. Kind of like it's a really great enhancement and would save a lot of work on behalf of site builders if they have a lot of layouts that have similar block structures. So I don't want to kill this just based on these like minor complaints, because it's really excellent. So we'll kind of continue iterating on this a little bit. Doc Wilmot's still grinding really hard on it. And so I think that we're looking really good. Yeah, Olaf, Martin, or Izzy, do you have any feedback on this issue?
No, I haven't really looked at this one, I don't think. I have used the I think layout wildcard module, so which obviously provides it was like a precursor to this. But I think what is there is from what I've seen is an improvement, but I haven't jumped in to do any testing on this one yet.
Okay. So yeah, the point where you are now, Nate, or where you were in the screenshot of the issue. So I followed the issue, but not very detailed. But I saw that at a certain point there was a problem that many paths were listed in the layout page, or the layout configuration page, and I wanted to ask if that's still a problem or not. And if it's still a problem, how did Layout Wildcard manage that?
Yeah, so this is what it looks like now. Yeah. So I see
Okay.
what you're saying. So foo, bar, and baz, all three of
Mhm.
these are
Yeah,
the
so
same layout.
yeah, and one problem is if you delete one, it deletes all of them.
Yep, that's not at all clear.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about the current status, if it's if there's work, or if there was another comment of Doc Wilmot about that. But I think that's a bit critical, maybe. And my idea was to have a look how Layout Wildcard manages this. If it has the same issues, I don't remember it, but it could be, or if there's maybe a solution in that contrib module.
Yeah, I think yeah, I would be more keen to. So I know that in the code,
Mhm.
that the additional paths is tracked as a separate key, and so I'm guessing that Doc Wilmot did some work here. See, so there's a property for path, and then there's a property for additional paths. And so he's got to loop over the additional paths to specifically print them on this page. And I would be more keen to just not do that, to not loop over the additional paths on this page and only show the primary path. Because yeah, looping over the additional paths and treating them as though they're the same, this is kind of going back to the same kind of problem of like, there's an important distinction between the primary path and the additional paths, and that probably the primary path should only like a layout only exists once. There's one layout configuration, and then there's the additional paths are just added on to that one configuration. And I would think that we have one row per configuration, like per layout here, and not try to represent each additional path as its own row. So
yeah, layout wildcard doesn't list the alternative paths on the on that page.
Okay.
So I think that would, yeah, that we potentially just need to be doing less here. You know, less auto completing the paths, less listing of layouts on the listing page here. I guess I do still feel like the additional paths should have a separate label and a separate section here and say additional paths. But yeah, still it's really great functionality. I think we just need to provide some clear directions. All right, let's see. We've only got a couple minutes left, so let's keep working through the ones that we've got still. So we got layout template types. Laren posted an update to this a little while ago, and looks like this needs some review. I would appreciate help taking a look at this one. I wonder if I said rudimentary testing, so let's see what we got here. So the holdup on this one had been that we needed test coverage, and so okay, I'm seeing some tests, some test modules. Great. Okay, yeah, really basic, but that might be sufficient. So Laren, I know is that this pull request or this feature, although it doesn't demonstrate anything, I think it's rather key for his work on the layout paragraphs module. So I think it would be great to get this reviewed and checked out to see if it's ready to be moved in. Let's see, other ones, list modules requiring updates to show on the status report. Martin, this one's yours. It's now RTBC.
Yay.
Yay! Do you have any commentary on this one?
No, we had a bit of a challenge finding an arrow, just a simple bit of a thing, showing an arrow, choosing an arrow that would show which update was going from to. But I think Laren came up with no, I think Laren came up with one. I think you said let's go with this one, and
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
everyone,
I can't believe
was
it.
happy with that. So we've gone with that.
Oh, well, I'm probably not going to be able to have any updates on the sandbox to look at, but yeah, that's so funny. I didn't think that was going to be such a thing, so I'm sorry. As usual, I'm just like, could we use an arrow? And it just derailed for like a week. But yeah, I'm happy with this one. I think everybody else is too. So thank you for tolerating our bike shedding over the arrow, Martin. Okay, and then we've got the ones that are stuck for this release. This one that Norm Plum has been working on to disable comments on a content type. I think it's been stuck because we can't figure out how to get the tabs not showing up on an individual content type. So these two tabs here, we seem to be like really struggling to figure out how to get them to go away, because they're being added by field module, and the concept of disabling fields per bundle seems to be not obvious if field module is made to do that. So I worry a little bit that we may actually have some prerequisite here that field API is missing the ability to do this kind of thing on a per bundle level. There's probably ways that we can work around it with like a hook menu alter or something like that, but it's not trivial. So we've been stuck on this issue trying to get these tabs to go away because they don't do anything if the comments are disabled. And the statement of what we have tried to achieve for like, if you use this option to disable comments per content type, it should act as though comment module is not even installed, but only for that content type. And we can't, like, the presence of this configuration for configuring how, like adding fields and the display of comments when comments aren't even turned on, it's not achieving the goal that we'd hoped to achieve yet. So we've been stuck on this one. So yeah, we need some additional developer insight on this one.
One worth mentioning, one other issue that is not per se a feature, it is fixing a bug, but it's going into the 1.33 milestone because it's a change to the API. It's adding a variable to a hook, which is the custom let's see, 6987 custom text format with multi-valued field creates empty field each time after saving node. So yeah, so that's gone into it's still a bug fix, but because the fix is by changing the API.
Yep. Yeah, I think we talked about this one before you jumped on, Martin.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. Is there any do you foresee any problem with this?
No, it's been tested quite a bit, and I've reviewed the code in quite a bit of detail, and it's all in the usual style of IndigoZilla. It's very well documented, and the code is really clear and easy to understand what it's doing and why.
Great.
Yeah, I think the question, and I think Martin was kind of alluding to it, is that in many ways this is like a bug fix, but because of this one element, it's not going to be available in previous versions like 132.x. It's only going to be available in 133.
Yeah, even the API change is really minor. It's adding an additional parameter, and in PHP you don't actually need to add, like if you have a function that doesn't use all of the parameters or you pass something additional parameters, nothing bad happens. For now, I guess. With PHP becoming increasingly strict, I imagine at some point that may change. But yeah, so it's adding instance to hook field is empty. Yeah, and it even has the since line in here. Perfect. Yeah, I'm totally fine with this. Just being in 133, I think that's totally fine. It definitely makes writing, I don't know, I feel better about writing changelog entries too if they're like on minor versions and not in bug fixes. So I'm in favor of all of that. The last issue I want to talk just briefly about is this multiple file upload. Doc Willman and I have been going back and forth on this one. I haven't had the time to work on it in the past couple of weeks between vacation and work. So yeah, no updates recently. I don't know. I think I'd really rather prefer that I invest my time in making sure that all of the work that other people have done, what we can get in, we do get in. And so this one is I don't know, unfortunately, one of the most likely things to carry over into the next release. All right. Let's see, we're pretty much all out of time here. Let's see, I don't know why I can't stop sharing my screen. Did that do it? Yeah, I think it did. Okay. Yeah, do we have any other comments or closing remarks before we end for today?
No, thanks.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, great work, everybody. I'm super thrilled about the things that, as usual, things are kind of coming together here at the last minute. And even if things don't, not everything lands, like the velocity at the end of a release is always really strong, and as we're seeing right now. So I'm really excited to see all of these issues coming together, and that bulk operations one especially, where I was just like, I just want this one, and then it happened. I'm just so excited about that. So yeah, thank you everybody. The people here who are some of our most active reviewers, I really appreciate every one of you and all of our contributors who are working so hard in our issue queue. So thank you so much.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Going to be another great year for Backdrop in 2026. So let's, kick it off strong in the coming weeks. We'll have 133 out and available in a couple of weeks, and we'll have the preview release out. Let's see, Feature Freeze is on Sunday, the 4th, so the preview release will come out on Monday, the 5th. So we'll see what we get done between now and then.